You're listening to Unspooled, the podcast where failed prints are just part of the journey. Hosted by Corey from Mojee3D, the guy who thinks filament is a personality trait, and Steve from LayerXLayer, who probably has more spools of filament than forks. Every week we dive into 3D printing, making, and the occasional rant. So grab your favorite filament and let's get unspooled.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Corey, Mojee3D.
And I am Steve, LayerXLayer.
So tonight, what we're going to be doing is talking about 3D printing, making, general stuff. We've got quite a bit to talk about. A lot of stuff happened this week. A lot of stuff from Rocky Mountain. And then around 8:30 p.m. tonight, we are going to be joined by JustGee3d, awesome maker and YouTuber. Does cosplay stuff, great stuff if you guys aren't familiar with him. He's going to be on around 8:30, talk with us for 20 minutes or so, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long he wants to be on, really. So thanks for joining. So Steve, what have you been up to this week?
This week was pretty cool. Even though I didn't go to Murph, I did a model for New Makers, their display, which was pretty cool. So I was kind of there, but not there at the same time. So that was pretty awesome to see that setup on their table and like people's behind the scenes footage and stuff like that. So it was pretty awesome. It was, it was cool to see all of that stuff, set up and
Like, we had kind of talked about that New Maker thing, and that was pretty cool. It was cool to see. I can't wait to see that. Well, you'll see it before me in live. Well, you've already seen it. You made it, but you'll see it at Midwest, Murph, and then hopefully I'll be able to see it at 3D Printopia. But it's pretty cool. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's all over. It's on New Maker's socials, right? They took.
I believe it's on their socials. It's on my socials for sure. I shared it there. And
it looked awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah. What about you? What are you up to this week? Or what? How was what'd you do last week?
Yeah, just a lot of printing, a lot of getting ready for this episode, based off the first one we did. Following up on all the Murph stuff. That was pretty cool. Hey, Daddy Wezzy. It was pretty cool. I surprisingly, and we had talked about it briefly before this episode, was that I haven't seen a lot of coverage of it that I'm used to seeing. It doesn't seem like there's been as many big posts, videos. I did see some live streams from there, some cool stuff. My two favorite things that I saw there, I've actually seen before, but it was really cool to see them there. I've seen them online, but was the stone 3D printer or the stone printer. I don't even know what they're calling it, but that massive all metal thing, I don't even know what you're calling it, but that thing is amazing. And then obviously the Magpie. I'm a big fan of the Magpie printer.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that kind of built off the Rook type of thing, but it's one of those things. I'm like, hey, Free the Heathen, how are you?
Hey, Free the Heathen.
Another fellow Twitch streamer, Free the Heathen. If you guys haven't seen him, he's on a lot. Seems like you're on every night. The Tribe. I think I saw you live today. So if you guys haven't seen him, go check him out. Cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out in the next few days. I know all the content creators there, like Alan Mandic, obviously Joel and Nero, all of them there. And there were I did see a lot of like Hendrick and a lot of people from across the pond, Sam Prentice. Looked like
Sam
Stefan was there.
Any of them, man.
No, he's always at all of them. But it looked like Stefan, CNC Kitchen, he was there.
Oh, really? I think that's the one that he go to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. It's probably might be easier for him to fly into Colorado where it's such a big airport. Yeah, it was really neat to see a lot of those people. So I think you're going to see more coverage of it. The one thing that I wanted, that I think was there, that I want to see at 3D Printopia, and you're probably going to see it in person before me at MRV, and you're a K1 guy, and I also have a K1, but it is the Fadis, the DXC extruder, which is based off the Devil design that he did, that extruder he did for it. So he worked with Fadis, and then Creality, manufactured by Runic, I think it was.
Nice.
But it's a really sick looking, it's supposed to be a drop-in replacement, drop-in upgrade for the K1. And I want to see that. And then Fadis posted, it was either today or yesterday, maybe it was the day that Murph, when was Murph? Saturday, Sunday. So
Saturday and Sunday.
Sorry, Murph. Yeah, Rocky Murph. So they posted that, I think it said available this Friday. Now, I don't know if that was just like pre-sale. Here's how much it's going to cost.
It says coming this Friday. It says DXC extruder drop soon.
So yeah. I'm wicked excited about that because
it looks nice. It's a spicy looking extruder, man.
Yeah, it looks really good. And Fadis obviously makes amazing stuff. And that Devil design, so they called it the Cyclops was what it was called when it was his previous design. And I did do that, and it worked great. I ended up taking it out because I wasn't happy with with the printed parts of it, and that was on me, not the design. The design was great, but I'm happy to see now that it's going to be done through Fadis and Runic and actually a manufactured extruder, because it looks really, really good, and it looks a little beefier and it looks bigger than the Cyclops. Whoa. My camera just zoomed in on me.
The hand gesture, man. You're too fancy, man.
So stop doing that.
I think you got to do this one, and like it'll expand it or whatever.
So is that what it is? There we go. But
it went all the way out. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I'm like, stop doing that. I don't. I can't wait for it. It's one of those ones that has been I've been pretty excited about. So nice. I was happy to see it. So yeah, was there anything else at Rocky Mountain that you saw that kind of stood out? What about you guys in a comment? I mean, Daddy Wazzy, you're on the West Coast.
He didn't go.
No,
but he probably was, probably paying attention to the streams and stuff as well. I'm trying to think. I felt like there were a lot of filament companies there. A lot of American filament companies there as well.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Hey, Tech Cheaper. So one of the filament companies that I think was there, and I'm not positive, if somebody was there in the comments, let me know, was Fusion Filament.
They were there.
They were there. So I've actually been, and I think I posted today about something, is that I'm going to be ordering one of their HT PET Plus filaments. And I was going to have everybody in the comments tonight to pick, because I can't decide on the color. So I was going to let
that'll be cool.
People in the comments pick the color, and I was going to order it and test it because I've heard really good stuff about it. So, Tech Cheaper, was that's the purple one, right? That I posted. I think that's their HT PLA, and it's like I can't even remember the name of it now.
What's your least favorite color? Don't listen to Tech Cheaper. He's trolling. He's like, "What's your least favorite color for science?" Because that's what he's going to suggest.
Brown. So there was actually a post going around on X a while back that everybody was surprised that I have never owned or printed with brown filament in my life.
Oh man, I printed with it like so much. Like
I don't know why. I've had wood filament, which technically is brown.
See, for me, it's kind of like it's an ethnicity thing. Like my Lego It's brown.
Oh yeah, I
I
could get
printed
that.
that
Yeah,
out of brown.
yeah.
This guy, my nightmare face.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, brown.
yeah. I just
So
never like. I'm
just
a.
never
I
had a
mean,
need to. Yeah,
yeah, we talked about this in the first episode. Is that I'm more of a technical
yeah,
part printer, so I print in like the blacks, grays, whites.
yeah.
But when I do print like aesthetic stuff or fancy filaments, it's usually like sparkly purples and blues and greens and all that type of stuff.
Not me.
But I
Not
have
me.
tried, yeah, and
Print
we,
everything.
yeah, that's what the intro
I
is, right?
use
More
everything.
spools of filament and forks.
Everything.
But I have been trying to get back into and doing more HueForge.
Yeah.
So I think that just by its nature will
No, because you still only be
get
using
me.
a little bit of filament. You'll be
Yeah,
using
but
more
I'll
colors, but a
be.
little bit. Yeah.
It'll force me to stock more colors.
We should start
whatever.
the like adopt a roll program for HueForge and like
Yeah,
just send the roll around. Everybody snip off like 100,
yeah, just enough.
100 drawings of it or something, and then
I
pass
mean,
it on
that's
to
the
the
one
next
good thing
person.
about HueForge is that you barely use any filament.
You really and you the payoff is so huge for such a small amount of filament. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's like, oh, I got this amazing thing, and it took like 12 hours, but it only cost me 25 cents or something. You know what I mean?
yeah, because it's only 28 layers thick, or 28 layers thick. I think was the last one I printed was like 28 layers. But
so speaking of HueForge, I was like, I tried to scale one up to like a ridiculous proportion just to kind of like make it look insane, and I could not get it to scale. This was post, so I created it regular, and then I like scaled it up by like 200% on the Z to like see what would happen, and it just did not. The math was not mathing. It was like the math wasn't mathing. It was like, okay, and when I tried to like distribute the colors, it just I couldn't figure out. I'm gonna have to go back to it because it's very simple, but it was a late night when I was trying to do it.
Because once you scale the Z up on that, it's gonna throw off all the color layout.
Now that I'm saying it, I realize what happened. I scaled it, but I didn't take into account the first layer, which is usually what 2 point. It might be like 0.24 instead of 0.2, and everything else is 0.2. So when I scaled it, that should have been 0.48, and everything else had to go off of that. And that's where I messed up at, because I was like, this does not look like how it should look. And I'm like, what's going on?
I mean, unless you're hey Steve Builds, how are you?
Build over bots as well.
Build over bot. I like Tech Cheaper's comment there about the coffee. That was pretty funny. Adopt a spool. Yeah,
in the arms of an angel right there.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think unless you're someone who's really into HueForge and have really kept up with it, and have learned a lot about it, it can break the brain. Like it can. Yeah, it can throw you for a loop if you're not familiar with it, and it adds a whole level of slicing that with just the putting in the filament changes that a lot of people probably don't ever deal with.
Yep.
Yeah. Even
what do you think with the UP make HueForge, because that's going to be a big thing.
Oh yeah, for the anchor thing.
Yeah, there's still a huge gap as far as price, and you won't be able to compare, the price of a HueForge, price of the Eufy makes. But
the one thing that gets me with that is I did almost back that Kickstarter, but what gets me with that is I was hesitant on the cost of the ink.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of come out that it's because UV printers have existed for a while, big ones, right? Yeah. That not anything desktop like that, but it's always been known that ink is expensive for the commercial UV printers. But I think they've come out now that per like fluid ounce or something, this stuff is actually even more expensive than the commercial grade stuff.
Wow. I think it's going to be $50 roughly for the refills, but I mean, you may not need all of the refills, who knows? But yeah,
Because someone,
$50 for like
yeah, and
the
I don't have it exactly right, but I think someone posted about a print. You know, they printed a picture. Oh, stop doing that. I got to turn that off. Okay. So they printed a picture, and I think it cost like $28 in ink to print it.
Really?
Yeah. And again,
Wow.
that may be off, that may not be right, but that just seems like that seems expensive.
Yeah, that seems expensive.
If that's correct.
Printed vision. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think what would be cool is like if you could take like a textured print, right? And still print on top of that textured print. That would be awesome.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Steve, but I'm gonna oh, not that one, this one. Where is it? Right there. Sorry, I missed it.
I know, right? All day, man.
Sorry, man. This. So, in case anybody is aware of these, this camera that I'm using now is the first. I've never used this one before. I bought it a while ago, but it's the Obsbot Meet 2. Tiny little camera, but clearly I have no clue how to use it because I didn't disable the gesturing with the. So every time, and I'm a hand talker, so it's going to be a rough night.
No, my hands are actually glued to the table right now. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to sit on my hands.
That's my son's hand that keeps picking up the drink.
Yeah,
he's on the floor.
No, but
right,
yeah, I like these Obsbot cameras. I've heard people say good things about it. And I bought this like 8 months ago, but I never used it. I got the tiny 2 as well, the PTZ version.
Yeah, a lot of people have been going to the Obsbot.
Yeah, actually, the first person that ever turned me on to them was 3D Print SOS Feder.
Yeah,
he's from your area. He loves them. He was the first person I ever saw use one. Yeah. Okay. So Steve's using one. Yeah, it's just the quality's great, and like this one here is the Meet 2, and I think it'll do like it does 4K, and the quality of it's pretty solid. Like this here is set to 1080p.
Nice.
30 FPS, I think is just what, but it's pretty solid, and for the size and the price, they're pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, that was another thing. Like the close-up focusing, which we just saw on my face. It goes further than that too, but supposedly you're supposed to be able to focus in up to like 2 inches with it.
Now
so.
you look like you're scared to move your hands now.
I am. I went to scratch my nose. You see that? I'm like, I'm terrified to scratch my face because I'm gonna break. Yeah,
it's gonna start spinning around or something.
So yeah, Obsbot's like, this is a great thing for us, right? Like, but it is a good camera. I just have to disable gesturing. So, but so going back to Steve Builds, you were at Rocky Mountain, right? I think I saw pictures of you there. How was it? Seemed like it was good. A lot of people there.
Yeah, there was a ton of people there.
I just haven't seen a lot of. I just got yeah. I'm waiting to see a lot of pictures and films from it. I haven't seen a lot of it yet. But,
there was definitely a lot of people there for sure.
Yeah, it looked.
I'm watching like footage and like just like, hey, I know that person. Like, hey, there's so and so. There's this person. You know, like in the background. So, I mean, yeah, it's just a wonder. I wonder, like, as far as like, I think the was it the ELT wire cutter was like the big thing, one of the big things last year, and like everyone was kind of like talking about that, and it just seemed like there wasn't like something that people were like, hey, did you see this thing? Did you see this? Super awesome thing. I did see like there were tons of custom printers there. There were so many custom, like they were everywhere this year, man.
Yeah, I did see a few pictures of stuff that looked interesting. I haven't found much more about them, but yeah, I was wondering if there was going to be anything there this year that like we haven't seen. Something that somebody was kind of holding under the close to their chest to like release it at Rocky Mountain. And I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know if anything was, but it seemed like there were a lot of really cool custom stuff that like the maker tables or something where there were some cool printer builds.
Yeah, for sure.
I do know. I think it was. Is it A1 or V1 Engineering that did the mostly printed CNC, the
I didn't.
MPCNC?
Was that the green and blue one?
No, I think it's red and white. They
Okay,
had their print. They had their printer there, which I've never seen it in person. I've seen videos and pictures of it, but I'm pretty sure that one was there. But I didn't. And then obviously the stoned printer, Stone 3D. I don't know what they pronounce it, but that giant hunk of metal, that was there too, and that thing's crazy impressive.
All right. Is that the Magpie that Steve's talking about?
He might be either Magpie or the V1 Engineering one, because I think the V1 Engineering one is pretty small. But yeah, the Stone 3D printer is just unreal.
He says it's gonna should show up in a build stream soon.
Oh, nice. I think if you look on their site, I think you can buy it's like $1,300 for the kit or $1,500 fully assembled. Which for an extra 200, I mean, I'd like to assemble it just because it'd be fun. But,
what kind of fully assembled? Is this like the Prusa XL fully assembled, or like actually fully assembled? Because the Prusa XL fully assembled was like close to fully assembled.
Yeah, I would imagine that I would imagine that it's fully assembled because it's a beast of a machine. Like it's beastly.
Shenanigans. Sorry about that.
Shenanigans. Canned. But yeah, I'm excited to see. I can't wait to see that build from you, Steve. That Stone 3D. That thing's amazing.
Yeah,
but I can't wait to see everybody's coverage from Rocky Mountain, like more detailed.
Yeah, dude. I know, right? 100%.
It's gonna be cool. Someday I haven't been to Rocky Mountain. Next year I'd like to go. We'll see.
That would be cool. Next year I think I'm definitely gonna try to go. So, for me, it was a little bit of having to handle like family stuff that I deal with every day, as well as the price. You know, like it was that's a big jump. You know, compared to what it was last year.
The flight cost for me is pricey just from where I am. I'm in like Maine, but I'm like up northern area, not northern Maine, but like central Maine.
Dude.
And from my closest airport, you know, flying to Colorado is not inexpensive. So it's this year it wasn't in the cards, but maybe next year it will be.
Just drive down to my house and then we fly from here.
yeah, because it's probably a lot cheaper to fly from the Maryland area, DC or Reagan or somewhere. Yeah. Like a lot of times I'll go down to Boston and we'll fly out of Boston because it's way cheaper to fly out of Boston than it is in Maine, whether it's like Bangor or Portland in Maine.
Yeah, this is little things like that because I know of some people who live in like Michigan, like Upper Michigan, and you're like, oh yeah, it's expensive to fly out of Upper Michigan because you have to take like a little local plane and then from there to the airport and then onto the big plane. So it's like the cost is like insane.
Yeah, everybody in Maine goes to Florida in the summer for like, you know, if you're basically 55 or older, you go to Florida in the summer from Maine.
Yeah.
So like escape the winters. So if you want to fly to Florida, dirt cheap, right? Like because there's a million planes that fly out of here to Florida. So you can go to Florida real cheap, but anywhere else in the country, it's you gotta sell a kidney or two. But so all right, well it's 8:26. So JustGee is gonna be joining us at 8:30. If you guys aren't familiar with JustGee, you will be soon. Awesome guy, great maker, cool YouTuber. He check out his YouTube channel. Like I said, we'll take a look at it when he comes on, just to get you guys familiar with some of the stuff that he does. I don't want to give anything away that he want to talk about, but we are going to ask him about his Dr. Doom mask.
Yeah.
Because
his channel is still fairly new. You know, I think he started like maybe 2 years ago, if that.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. It's been a roller coaster for him.
Yeah, he's been a busy guy. He's built a lot of really cool stuff in a very short amount of time. So Steve's gonna reach out to him real quick. He'll join in a little bit, but after after JustGee joins us, we're going to dive a little bit more into some filament stuff that's come out from Soraya Tech, specifically that I want to talk about, and then other things that that came out. We talked about it briefly last episode, but I wanted to dive more into it, kind of deeper into it. The full, the behind the scenes part of it, kind of the maker ethos of it. So we'll wait till after JustGee for that. But let's see, what's everybody in stream been up to lately? Oh, Tech Cheaper. Are you from Upper Michigan? Must be, right? Yeah.
Don't trust him, man.
Because I imagine I've only been in Michigan once, but I imagine it's I know weather-wise, Michigan, Wisconsin, very similar to Maine. Wisconsin gets way more snow than we do, though. Not Upper, but Michigan, yeah. What are they call that little upper? They call the people that live there like Yoopers.
Yep, Yoopers.
Yoopers, yeah.
You know why I know that? Because I watch driving videos. We talked about
yeah.
I watch driving videos.
Yeah.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I've been all over Upper Michigan.
Yeah, virtually.
From this chair right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like I remember years ago I got one of those Peloton bikes.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been cycling through the Alps and like all the places that like,
dude, the Alps look amazing. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe people just live there like regularly. Like they're you're not rich or something. Like the views that they have in their like regular backyard are insane.
I always tell people I've done like the Tour de France, like virtually.
Nice. Still waiting.
Comforts of my own home.
Yeah.
Pedaling on my Peloton.
Waiting to see
all right.
Pops in.
Let's see if we get.
We'll give it a second.
We get JustGee in here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that I saw that was even slightly. I don't know. It sounds mean. Slightly interesting, but yeah. There were a lot of there he is. All right, we can circle back around to that.
Okay, so welcome. There's JustGee. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, man?
How's your week been? You busy?
Busy. I have a video coming out soon, so I want to make sure I get everything situated with that. Get my I's dotted and T's crossed. I almost got that backwards.
Yeah. We were kind of telling everybody in chat, that you were coming on, and we briefly had
hello everybody.
Say hello to JustGee.
Yeah, let him introduce himself. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and give yourself an intro there.
Oh, okay, awesome. I'm JustGee. I've been 3D printing for about 2 years now, coming up on my 2-year anniversary in July.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am a content creator, YouTuber. I make 3D prints and cosplay props, I guess you can say. I started focusing mainly on helmets. I actually made a full War Machine suit. I'm proud about that one. That one took some time. And that's it. I'm trying to venture out and do more things with 3D printing too, not just sitting where doing 3D prints. I want to get into foam making and just whatever the world has to offer when it comes to creating content and props and stuff like that.
Dude, I remember when you started that War Machine, and I like would drop in every once in a while, and you were like doing the size, and I'm like, man, I was like, this dude's crazy. This dude's crazy.
And you seem to get that done quick. I've been working on I've been working on a full Iron Man suit for years, and it is still in a tote in my attic. I don't know how you finished it that quick.
He's JustGee, man. That's how.
Yeah.
No, it actually took, I want to say, a year total time. When I first got the idea to start the War Machine suit, I was like, you want to make it big in the 3D printing world, you have to have an Iron Man suit. And I didn't want an Iron Man suit because everybody had one. So I was like, okay, I'll do a War Machine. And I really liked the Mark I. So I was like, this is what I'll do. I'll just start with the helmet. If I like it, if I get a good response from it, people enjoy it, I'll continue making different parts. And that's how I started. And I was like, I want to have this completed by Dragon Con, and that's in Atlanta. I always wanted to go to Dragon Con. So I was like, I'll get a War Machine suit.
Nice.
I'll go to Dragon Con. I'm gonna be good to go. So I started, boom, did the helmet. Great response too. And that was a sponsor build by PCB Way. And it was like, okay, got this one knocked out of the way. And then I was like, what else can I do? Let's start on the back piece. So I started on the back piece. That actually took a lot because that's when I just got my resin printer and I really wanted that detail in the back of the suit. So I resin printed multiple back pieces and then I just kind of spliced them all together. And then once I did the FDM on the both sides, I had to figure a way to merge all of it together. And it was like, if you don't know, resin and FDM don't want to mix. So I had to find a way to merge both of those together. And then that's when I was like, 2-part epoxy, forget it, whatever. I'll clean it up later. And it ended up working out. I made the video. It didn't do very well, but I still got the video out. And then I was like, okay, what else can I do? Let me do the minigun. And then this was another sponsored build. So I had them send me the tubes for it. And it was all resin printed and stuff. I put it all together and it is massive. I actually have it because I will never use it. It's nice to look at, but it is massive and it's heavy. Resin is heavy. So it would never fit on that suit.
I remember that video. It is huge.
Wait, hold on.
It is big.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
This thing is massive. And this, from here on, this is FDM, and then this is all resin.
Yeah.
I can't put this on my suit. I'll topple over. So I do want to come back to making the minigun again, and I want to make it actually articulate and move and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about doing it out of foam.
Because that fixes to one of the arms, right?
It's supposed to
on the shoulder.
It's supposed
on the shoulder. That's right.
So there's a piece that goes on the back. It can rest right there, and it's like a little arm that goes around, and then it sits on that arm. So if I can figure a way to like brace that, and then I could put the foam one on there, which is going to be 1,000 times lighter. I could put a little bit of electronics in it, make it spin around, probably light up because I'm getting really good with these LED lights. I think that would be a really cool effect. And I'll put like a little swivel on it, so when I move my head, it'll go back and forth. It'll be a cool little effect, you know. And then,
as a Star Wars fan, for me, the video that for you that I loved was the Kylo Ren helmet.
Okay,
That was sick.
That one was fire.
Yeah, I loved
job
the,
on that. The paint job on that thing was insane.
Yeah, I loved the red. I loved like the red fracturing cracks that you did.
Yeah,
on that was really cool. I'm a big Star Wars guy, so that was like that. And then your Red Hood helmet, I loved the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Now, what's the other one you told me you love? The Venom helmet.
Oh yeah.
You're just gonna name all of his helmets.
It's so funny too because you named all 3 helmets that I don't even own anymore.
You sold them, dude?
They're in my they're in my closet.
The Kylo Ren, in closet. The Kylo Ren was a gift for my nephew for. Christmas.
Okay, nice.
There's actually a funny story with this one too. So my brother-in-law gifted my son some customized Air Forces that were like custom painted, and they were like kind of space. My son really loves space, so they custom painted this cool space motif on it, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna let you outgift me. I was like, what do your son want? Name a helmet he wants. And he was like, he's a real big fan of Star Wars. I was like, who's his favorite character? He was like, I love Kylo Ren. So I was like, got it. I'll make a Kylo Ren for you.
Nice.
And I didn't just want to make him a normal Kylo Ren helmet. Everybody has a normal Kylo Ren helmet. So I wanted to do something special. So I was like, how cool would it be if he has this Kylo Ren helmet where he wears it and he can push a button and he can talk and it sounds like Kylo Ren? So I went ahead and got a voice modulator and built it inside of the helmet. So when he talks, it sounds just like he's talking like Kylo Ren.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
And then of course you say you like the fractured paint and stuff like that. So another thing I did was I got the paint and then I got some UV fluorescent paint. So if he takes a black light to it, it'll start glowing, but that wasn't good enough for me. So I took some glow in the dark pigment, mixed it with the fluorescent paint. So now he doesn't even need to have a UV light. He can just light it up, turn off the lights, and it'll just glow. It's glowing.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah,
So
you've made some awesome stuff.
Nice.
Like I liked everything I mentioned. I like, but the Venom mask. Yeah, like this is what I mentioned last stream. The Venom mask is just. I watched the part where you did the gooey tongue, like the
yeah, the spit.
I watched that, because I was like, man, and I was like, I'm gonna make a Venom mask. I never made a Venom mask. If I make one, that's what it's gonna look like.
When I got in my office, I was like, I'm gonna print so many masks. I've printed 0 masks.
Really?
I was like, I'm gonna have them all on the wall. I've printed no mask at all, bro. Not one. And I was like, I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do this one. This one. I have not done any.
I've printed every mask and finished none of them.
What is up with you guys? What are you?
I know, right?
I know.
I print them all, but when it gets to the time to do the paint and the finishing work, no.
Send them to me because that's the part that I probably would enjoy more than the printing them. So send me.
I'll print them and then send them to you.
Y'all just gotta switch.
Yeah,
you print them, you finish them.
Yeah.
Now y'all gotta.
And so, you'll come out with a video, right? When you came out with the Kylo Ren one, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna finish my Mandalorian helmet, and I dig it out and I work on it for a couple hours, and then I put it away and I never touch it again. And you'll come out with another video, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll take it out, do a little bit more. So after your YouTube channel gets 150, 200,000 subscribers over the next couple of years, I might then finish it. So I'll have it done in 2 years.
All right. So this is the deal then. Once I hit my 100K, I get my little plaque. I'm gonna put it back right here. Plaque. Once I get my plaque, I want to see 5 completed helmets from you.
5.
That's
from
not
Corey,
hard.
right?
Steve,
from Corey, right? Cool.
Both of y'all.
Steve, we're gonna have to tag team that.
Both.
5. All right,
Both
challenge accepted.
Both of them.
All right. Luckily, I already have them printed.
Start over.
Oh.
No,
I
don't want your used hand-me-downs.
I'm digging myself.
Your hand-me-down. What's wrong with you? Actually, I'm probably gonna do a helmet because I gotta go potentially speak at my son's school in his high school. I was like, I gotta make sure to bring some good stuff.
I'll give you the War Machine. Where's that? I'll give you the War Machine. You can wear that.
No. Dude, this body ain't a War Machine body, okay? This is Ironmonger body right here. Okay? I need the big suit. All right? No.
I don't know. It's gonna be the dreads is gonna be the hard part.
Oh my gosh. Dude. And that's the only reason why I haven't printed any. Because I contemplated, I was like, dude, I want to make some cool helmets and wear them.
I got a perfect helmet.
Predator, right?
That's exactly what I was gonna
say. That's the one that's on my list. I was like, yeah, I should do a Predator. I was like, it'll work. It's easy.
Got the dread. You don't have to print them.
Yeah,
that'd
dude.
Be sick, actually.
Yeah.
If you go to a Comic-Con, you have to do the Predator. That would be
absolutely
awesome.
Absolutely.
Who did a Predator? What's his name? The cosplayer. He just did a Predator, and I swear he stole it from. I want to give him a shout out to because
I know Brit does Creatrix Brit does a Predator cosplay for New York Comic Con.
What?
Yeah,
Julius.
Oh yeah, I've seen. I think I know what you're talking about.
He did a Predator, and I swear he stole it off the set. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Was that the one that was at San Diego Comic Con?
I don't think so. He just finished this one. I'm pretty sure he was at New York though. I want to say he was at New York.
Somebody a few years back did one on, and they were at San Diego Comic Con, and they made it, but they had somebody else wear it because the guy was 7 feet tall.
That's a perfect person.
Yeah, right. He was huge, and it actually looked like the movie Predator. It was nuts. I obviously wasn't there. I'd love to go to San Diego Comic Con. I go to my son, my wife, and I. We go to the Boston one not every year, but every other year. There's usually some really good ones there. One year there was the Princess Amidala, the big red
with the headpiece.
Yeah, with the massive headpiece, and it the dress went down to this round plate that was motorized. What? So she just stood on it, and it autonomously like drove her around.
Oh, that's
It looked
sick.
like she was like floating. It was
like a little Segway thing. What are those?
Yeah,
Little
Yeah.
hoverboards.
Yeah, it was like she was on like a giant Roomba, and it was just like driving her around. Yeah, it was really
she keeps
cool.
sliding past the bathroom, like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, but she was like in that thing, right? So like if
Nice.
she had to go to the bathroom,
Well,
it wasn't happening.
I'm pretty sure. G, did you make it to Dragon Con with your War Machine?
I did
Yeah.
make it to Dragon
Did you take a handler with you as well? Or no?
I did. My wife.
Yeah.
I took my wife with me.
Yeah.
She had to walk me around. People were handing me stuff. She had to.
Yep.
I don't like to be handed things. I don't like to be handed things. So she had to.
So when you got the whole suit on, how was your mobility?
Fair. I'll say it was
Okay.
fair. Yeah, I could walk upstairs.
Okay.
I couldn't bend over at the waist. I could move my arms, my hands. I could do poses. It was rough. I like snapped some pieces. Like right now, this thing is in some rough shape. I have to resand it. A lot of rubbing. Parts were rubbing. Because I made the thighs, I think, too small. So like they fit on there, but they kind of slide down. So you start to see the buckles. The arms. I wish I found a better way to secure them onto the shoulder part, because it's a lot of Velcro and buckles. But once you get sweaty, everything gets slippery and stuff starts sliding off. You think the foam is going to hold it. The foam didn't hold arm. So my forearms start to slip off. And I made the forearm guns too. All the guns I excluded. I don't like to print guns. That's one thing I don't do.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
But I had to do it for the suit. I just never put them on there. But this is the forearm guns that I never This is heavy too. I got to make this out of foam.
Yeah, dude. The foam is worth it, man.
Plastic is very heavy.
Yeah, one of the things that I was looking at was it's made by Soraya Tech. They make like the resin that everybody uses, but they make the FDM. They make filament now, but they're doing it's called Air TPU. And it's adjustable. The hardness and softness is adjustable based off the temperature you print it at. So
it's like very short type stuff or whatever, right?
So it's just like the Color Fab Barrier Shore, but this is adjustable. So if you print it at 240 degrees on the lower side, it's harder, more like 80 to 85 A. But then if you print it hot, like the 270 to 280, it becomes foamy and light, like a 60 A. Like a Vario Shore. So it's really cool. You can have one filament.
That breaks down the chemistry. Like you really gotta be chemist at that point, because now you're messing with molecules and stuff.
Right. Yeah, and it's impressive stuff. I actually ordered a roll of it, and it's not bad. It's $50 per kilogram, which is not bad. I think actually less than the Color Fab. The Vario Shore I think is more. But the benefit with this is that, like, if you don't want it to be light, fluffy, and airy, you can just print it colder and it stiffens it up. So it's pretty cool. It'd be an awesome thing to try.
Yeah, I'm
trying to think if y'all listening, hit me. No.
Yes, right. Give JustGee a call.
You definitely could use it for like making like padding and stuff inside of pieces. You know,
that neck piece. If you look at that picture, that neck piece I'm wearing, that's the only piece that I made that was
TPU. Oh, okay. Oh, TPU. Okay, nice.
I made a TPU. It was hard. Everyone was like, "You're not gonna be able to paint on it. It's gonna crack and stuff like that." So I did many light coats of paint, and it was able to. It doesn't crack or nothing. It's
because I've seen flexible cosplay stuff being painted, like with you, and then Off Earth. He's done some flexible painting.
Big shout out to Off Earth, because he helped me with that Dr. Doom helmet.
Yeah, that was
like that.
Yeah, that's gonna look awesome. I can't wait to see that.
We're gonna be stalking Off Earth for a little bit. He's on our list as well.
Oh,
yeah.
But yeah,
his metal work is like beyond anything I've ever seen. And I'm not even trying to like ride, but I've never seen like his like Halo helmets and the way he does textures and
he did that like cast iron spear thing that he posted the other day, last couple weeks ago. and it looked like cast iron. Like it looked like a cast iron piece that you would use in like a
Crazy.
fireplace. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like whatever tips he gave you for that Dr. Doom mask seemed to work, because that looks awesome.
I can't wait to finish it. It's gonna be a trip.
Yeah. So you're gonna have you'll have a video for that, right?
Mm-hmm. That should be coming out this weekend. Anything forbid, like I have a timeline, but stuff happens. So
yeah. So
hopefully
everybody,
I'll have it out Saturday.
Everybody in the comments, everybody watching this, if it's we do post this live stream on YouTube after the fact. So if you're 2 weeks from now, go back and watch that video for JustGee, because if you saw that if you saw his X post about that Doom mask, it's gonna look awesome. It already looks awesome. I can't wait to see it finished. But so couple questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
So what got you into, what started you in 3D printing in general?
Now we're gonna have an honest time. Honest time. So
turn on the slow music.
Right. Yeah. Cue the music.
Cue the music.
Are you really about to cue some music?
No.
Oh my God. All right, sorry. So back in the long time ago, back in the way days, COVID.
Just when you were only G, not just G.
Yeah.
It was just G OG.
Yeah.
And I picked up streaming. So I wanted to stream video games. Everybody was off work. It was COVID 2020. I wanted to stream. So I started streaming video games, got real into it, started learning editing and development and social media, marketing and stuff like that. I started learning all my skills of social media and content creating. And then I was like, man, I'm never going to get famous doing this. I don't know. This is like so saturated. Everybody does it. My YouTube was getting probably 50 views, if that. Now I'll be lucky to get 50 views on a YouTube video for gaming. It was just oversaturated. So I was one day watching, was it Frankly Build? I was watching a lot of videos. I was probably watching Frankly Build and watching how I was like, man, I could do that.
Yeah.
I was like, I could do that. And I have a real creative bone. I used to be a chef. I was in the culinary industry. I'm classically trained. I went to Le Cordon Bleu. I always had a creative bone. So I was like, nice. I want to try this. So I convinced my wife to let me buy a 3D printer. I bought me it was $350. It was the Elegoo Neptune 3 Plus. And I went for it. And not only that, I didn't even print anything minus a Benchy. Everybody prints a Benchy there first. But my first real print, I went ahead and I printed, I was playing Apex at the time, Wraith's Heirloom from Apex Legends. That was my first print. I made a video about it. And that video was my first real 3D print that I actually post-processed, finished, painted, and everything. That was it. So if you go back and look at that video, it's terrible. So bad. But I keep it on there because it shows where I came from. And I think a lot of people will get discouraged when they're making their YouTube channel and they're like, oh man, I posted this video and it's so bad. And I used to watch a lot of YouTube gurus and they talk about your first videos and how bad they're going to be. And I'm like, no, they're going to be bad and nobody's going to watch them. Yeah. And I probably got all my views on that video because of where I am now, and people went back and watched them, to be honest, because there's no way nobody will watch those videos now. It was in my office. I used my phone because I was afraid to use, like, the camera I'm using now is, I've been streaming with this cam. I bought another camera, a 4K one, like a decked out one, but I don't want to stream on it because it might overheat. Because, long story short, but I used that. I started streaming off my phone. My audio, I think I used my streaming microphone for audio for the longest time. It was the basic of the basic. I didn't have much skills about storytelling. I didn't have skills about editing. But you start to develop it, probably like, I want to say your 25th video, you're going to be like, oh, I know what to do. And then you're just going to keep... Yep, and you're just gonna keep just pushing them out because you're gonna start developing a a strategy and a habit, and editing gets easier, so it doesn't take as long. I'm not gonna lie, it still takes me about 20-25 hours to edit a video. It takes a long time, but I just it's because I just want to double check, go over everything, make sure I have everything that I need to go. But did I answer your question? I kind of went on a tangent.
Yeah, no, it's just really about how you kind of got into it, you know, like what got you into 3D printing. So
well, I saw like Frank, a lot of other people build it, and I thought it was really cool. I'm into comic books. I have a Green Lantern tattoo. Like I'm into comics. You know what? I never printed anything Green Lantern.
Oh, you gotta print something Green. Just do a ring. Yeah, a ring and a lantern. I want to print a ring and a lantern for a friend of mine who was like huge in the comics, and I was like, I figured I'd use a little bit of green with some luminous green, you know, something that'll kind of kick it up or whatever. So yeah, you got to do a Green Lantern, at least a lantern.
Nothing. I didn't.
Yeah, I like to design lamps.
You do.
Lamps. Oh, so I'd love to do it.
Design me a custom 3D lantern, and I will print it. Print it. I'll print it probably in like some like white ABS, so it can like shine through, and then I'll put some LED lights in it. If you could, I can't 3D model. So I work with CAD a lot. But that's not, to me, that's not 3D modeling. It's like, you know, I made a knife cover. You know, I said I was a chef, so I got a really nice $170 shun. If you know what knives, a shun is a Japanese steel knife. It's a Damascus steel, very expensive, nice warranty. I think it was $170. And I wanted a knife cover because I don't want to roll the edges on this thing. And if you Amazon knife covers, they give you the most ugliest basic knife covers. And I'm like, bro, I'm a 3D printer. I can find something. Yeah, like I do this, you know what I'm saying?
Like, put some respect on my name real quick.
Yeah, like this is terrible. So I went on all the search sites for models for knife covers, and I saw one that I really liked, but guess what? It didn't fit my model of knife. So I was like, all right, I know a little bit about CAD. I've tried it. Let's do it. So I took a picture of my knife. I did the dimensions and stuff like that, and I uploaded it into what's that free site?
Onshape or
Tinkercad?
I use Tinkercad, but there's a higher power to Tinkercad. Who owns that?
Oh, like Autodesk?
Autodesk. So Autodesk has their main 3D CAD.
Oh, Fusion 360?
Fusion. Thank you.
That's what I use.
I went on Fusion. I got the dimensions, uploaded the picture, and I started tracing it out. Got the basic dimension and shape. Then I put it in Tinkercad because you can actually have fun with Tinkercad. Like Autodesk, you can still do it, but it's too much. Like it's strict. So
Tinkercad is gone, dude. Now it's next level. It's crazy what you can do in Tinkercad.
I love it. I love it. So I added shapes. I put JustGee3d in there. And like I kind of customized it and then printed it out, did a couple iterations of it, and I was able to make a knife cover for my knife, and it's amazing. Like,
I know y'all want to see it? And I think that's the story of a lot of 3D printers is that you print stuff, right, that people design off of Thingiverse and printables and things and Maker World, but at some point you get to the point where you're like, it doesn't quite fit, or I can't find it. And then you learn how to design.
You got to make that switch in your brain because, like, it takes a while for you to be like, wait, I can print these things. Like, why am I buying it? I can print it. And like now, it's like for me, my wife is kind of in that state now where she's like, "Can you print this for me?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." Unless it's like something that, like, she tried to get me to print like 20 letters one day, and I was like, "I'm not doing that. That's too much."
Something breaks in your house, and you don't. They don't make it anywhere. They don't make it, and you're like, I gotta learn how to make this little piece. I can do it. And it's like the littlest clip.
Oh, dude!
And one
time my toilet broke and I fixed it in like within an hour. I took the piece out, measured it, and printed like 2 of them out, and threw it in there, and it worked for like a year and a half off of that like regular
here's
PLA
the
piece.
Smart thing. This is what people do. Once they get that little piece, they realize that you cannot find it anywhere, and then they'll upload it to their Etsy or whatever, and then sell it out. And then now they have a whole print farm for this one little piece.
For
I saw a
one
guy
little
who
piece.
does that. Yep. I saw this guy who did that for like truck pieces. He started printing out pieces for like a Jeep, and then these pieces that they don't sell anywhere else. And he cornered a market for it and just started making a whole bunch of money. If y'all listening out there, that's how y'all can make some serious money. But you gotta have that finite idea. Let me show you my chef knife. I'll be right back.
Go grab it.
Yeah, in 3D printing, you got to find that toothpick.
Yeah, dude.
That one thing that you can make that me like. One of the first things I ever printed, made, and sold was a nylon. I printed it in nylon, but it's
what size was it?
Size of my So it's made out of nylon, and it's like a half a gear that is in Fujitsu heat pumps, where the front of the heat pump raises up when you turn it on. There's a gear in that articulates that front piece up. Well, those break all the time, and you either can't find them, or you find them and they're just like $25 things. So I started making those and selling those, and I sold hundreds of them for like $5 because it cost me 20 cents to make. All right, let's see this knife cover.
All right, y'all weren't talking bad about me, right? I got this recorded.
Of course not.
I got this recorded. Just kidding. So here is the knife, and here's the cover for it, and I got JustGee3d on it, and just to save on some like aerated, so if you don't want to have it too wet. And it fits perfect.
Oh, that's clean.
It's an expensive knife. Damascus steel.
Knife.
I love it. It's sharp too. I don't want to cut myself. So I designed it, used the shape of it, extruded it, and made 2 covers for it. And I made a different one because I started buying those build plates with those designer plates that have like shapes and stuff. And I really wanted to like make it look cool. This is just a normal one, but it's just so cool what you can do. And I'm pretty sure I can like start selling these, but guess what? I'm gonna have to get everybody's knife shape. I'm gonna have to get like
just do it for the one that you have right now. I'm pretty sure there's other people out there who don't have it.
If it's a popular knife, then
it fits like perfect.
Here's my thing. Now, I wonder if you did it out of like a ABS CF or something like that. Would it technically be sharpening it every time you put it in and out of the sleeve? Boom.
So you can do something like that because the way I designed this, you can, but I would not make it out of anything CF because those little tiny fibers, you don't want anything palatable. I researched it, and I know PLA is food safe. So
food safer. Food safer.
Yeah, so
nylon would be an okay one. Or actually, they actually make, somebody makes a filament that is, you know the white cutting boards that everybody has in everybody
Malamar.
Yeah. So they make that in a filament.
What?
And that's super food safe. But you have to print it. You have to print it in like an enclosed, filtered, well-ventilated printer because it is like toxic as heck, like way worse than ABS. So, so kids, if you print it out there, don't.
And I have to get the H2D for that one.
All right.
Something filled. Yeah. You want to be filtering that stuff outside from
and then filter it out.
Yeah. But so that's cool. It's interesting to always see the way that people got into 3D printing because it's always a little different for all of us. But once you get into it, we all start to become similar. Like we all start to design usually for the same reason, right? Like you have a thing that you need, or you need to edit something that doesn't quite fit right. So the other question I had that was kind of in line with that is, now that you've started 3D printing and you started the YouTube channel, where do you want to go with the YouTube channel from here? Like we talked, obviously, more subscribers, right? 100,000 towards that goal.
Of course, yeah.
But is it? Do you have any plans for the channel as far as doing different stuff, or?
I would love to be that go-to guy for for 3D printing props and cosplay stuff, but I do want to branch out more to be more of a 3D printing nerd or somebody that looks just not just for props and stuff like that, but to what's the hottest thing to do? What's the next big thing in 3D printing? Or like, so I had a friend of mine who got into 3D printing those little miniature figurines. So I don't know, you can go to a place, right? And you can get your whole body scanned with like 300 cameras. And they take that file of that 3D scan and they upload it and you send it off and they give you back a little miniature figure of yourself that's painted and everything. And it looks just like you in this little tiny figurine. And I wanted to go and interview him and start like just different things about just 3D printing or the 3D printing community and how it's involved and how it helps other people. And I it's such a different, I might have to make another channel for it because it's so, left field of what I'm doing now, but
Yeah.
I would love to be able to go and do that. And
Well, the cool thing with YouTube and then 3D printing is that there's so many different like micro industries within 3D printing that you can do. So something like that, and all of that is interesting to so many of us that would want to see that. And what's cool too is that a lot of us, we all live in different areas of the country where different things are being done with 3D printing. Like I live in Maine, and in Maine right now, the 3D printing homes is huge. We have our University of Maine, which is our flagship university, and it's an engineering school, and they're big into 3D printing houses with this patented this wood bio-based cement. Basically, it's made out of trees.
wow.
Obviously in Maine, so they're building houses out of this stuff and 3D printing them. So that's like big in my area. But I was talking to a guy a couple weeks ago where he's in Arizona, and in his area 3D printing's big in like the medical, everything. They're trying to 3D print everything in the medical industries out there, and they're trying to do that everywhere. But for him, he says that's the stuff that he's focusing on. So yeah, that would be cool, to see you transition, even if it's another channel. A lot of YouTubers start multiple channels, I mean,
the one thing that you could probably do is just do your regular JustGee videos, and then at the end tack on a little interview, and so like people who are there, your loyal people will probably will continue to watch the whole thing, and and watch the interview as well, and then you don't necessarily have to try to build up a whole second channel, and then after a while you can kind of parlay like, hey, this video is just an interview, whereas though the first 20 of them were like, here's me doing what I do, and then there's a little 5-minute interview at the end, and then eventually people would just start looking for you for like all 3D printing content. But I mean, it's just one of those things of like, you gotta you at least as far as pivoting a channel is like, I think people can pivot a channel. It just takes some time to get your audience adjusted to it, and just
do a video.
Yeah.
Do a video on designing and making knife covers, cookie cutters, culinary arts, instruments printed, and you'll put a printer in every kitchen in America.
Man, you know how many trolls will try to light me up for printing food stuff?
Yeah.
Printing food stuff is such a touchy subject. It's
by far, dude.
My goodness. 100%. You don't understand how many people wanted to flame me for printing a knife cover. It was like, oh, you're just gonna print microplastics? I'm like,
oh yeah.
How many cutting boards are plastic? Like, chill.
Yeah.
I printed a lampshade and like a single layer base mode lampshade, and I posted it on X, and people like raked me over the coals. That's gonna burn your house down. That's gonna catch on fire. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, it's fine.
It's got LEDs.
It's literally right there. And
so,
it's
quick question, G.
Yeah.
What's a helmet that you haven't printed yet that you'd love to print? Like, you're waiting for someone to make the model for?
So I was going to make another suit. Like, I love this suit, but I want another one that fits better. and I didn't just want to reprint the same suit. So I was going to print the the Mark 6 or Mark 5 War Machine suit, the one he had in the beginning of the beginning of Endgame.
Okay.
And the suit's already made. JustGee3d makes the suit. I was gonna. The helmet's already made by Vec3D and them, like the whole wireframe crew. There's already a helmet that's already made, but it's not motorized. And I literally went to each and every one of them, and I said, "Hey, can you motorize this helmet?" And they said, "Hey, I don't motorize." Oh boy, what motorizes them? And he's like, "Hey, yo, I don't touch other people's models." And I was like,
"Oh goodness."
He's like, "I sell a kit. You can motorize." It's like it's not the same. Like this helmet right here. That I see the picture of it. That was made to be motorized, and it works perfectly. If I start taking kits and try to add it, it's not gonna work, and I'm gonna be stressed, and I'm gonna flip out because now I'm already pot committed, and I can't. So I would love to finish building that I think it's the Mark 6 helmet. But other than that, man, I print what I see. I don't really like, oh man, I would love to print this. Because I know if I want to do it bad enough, there's an audience for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
basically if you see it and it speaks to you, you make it.
Yeah. Essentially.
Nice.
Or somebody pay me to make something.
Yeah, sponsors you to make it.
So here's the other thing real quick, right? So as far as growing your channel and your crowd, when we gonna see you at a Rep Rap Festival, man?
Yeah. When I get an invitation, I mean, I would love to go to all these different places.
Yeah.
Stuff, but the way my checking account works, I have a checking and a savings. and I'm gonna hit some. I said, so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't have the if I put money aside, I can go to these different festivals, these different. Man, that's a lot of traveling. I just don't think I'm ready for it.
So without doxing yourself, what part of the country do you live in?
I'll tell you what state. I'm in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Georgia. Yeah, I'm in the South. I've said it before, so.
Okay, so you got 3D Printopia. That's in September, and you have Midwest Rep Rap Festival. That one is kind of laid back, and
I don't know about any of these, by the way. Listen,
yeah, for sure. But so Midwest Rep Rap Festival, that's next month. That's in Goshen, Indiana. That one's laid back, super chill. Dylan from Saturday Morning Props, he came last year. He had his Iron Man suit there as well. That's a laid back one. It's at a fairground, 2 days. It's a little hot because it's in like an old school building, like fairground building, but it's really laid back and fun. We just had Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival was just this past weekend. I said we, like I was there, but it was this weekend. We as the community. That one was this weekend. That's the biggest one. Like out of all, I say 3D Printopia is no longer considered a Rep Rap Festival, is what I heard. I don't know. To me, it's still the same thing. But Rocky Mountain was this weekend. That was in Loveland, Colorado. 5,000 people. Pretty much, I've seen everybody in the community at one of these festivals, except for Frankly Built. I don't think I've seen him at any of them. But Joel Telling's there. Uncle Jesse's there. Edge of Tech is there. All of these guys. Off Earth, all of these guys that you watch on YouTube are there, and that's why I tell people, dude, as a fan or even as an influencer, you go there, you'll find your people. You'll you'll go there and you'll be so juiced afterwards that you'll come home and you'll want to make everything. You know what I mean? Seriously, dude. For me, the first one I went to, I live in Maryland. I live in Baltimore. People know. And the 3D Printopia, that's what it's called now, but it was called Earth. It was East Coast Rep Rap Festival. That's maybe 20 minutes north for me, or maybe 30 minutes. And I went the first year on a Sunday. I didn't even know about somehow I randomly heard about it. Went up on a Sunday, walked around. I was like, this is cool. Then the next year I was like, there's no way that this is happening in my backyard and I'm not getting involved. So I was like, I volunteered. And I had fun, worked the table, worked registration. So when people came in, I'm greeting them and stuff like that. And then last year they asked me to MC it, which was cool. So because like 2023 to 2024 was like crazy for me in general, just from the stuff participating in the community, and they asked me to MC it, which was awesome as well. But literally that first year that I volunteered, 2023, like like all the people who participate, like the volunteers as well as the influencers, they'll have like a dinner that night, and like I'm going to the dinner, and like you're like sitting at a table with like, you know, these influencers that you've watched for years, years, and they're like just sitting there like chilling, talking, acting normal. You know, I say acting normal, but like acting normal, and you're like, this is like, and in your mind you're flipping out. You know, you're totally like fanning out or whatever, but you're trying to be cool, like, hey, you know, love the work, you know, da 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 da, and then you're like on the inside, you're like, I can't believe I'm even in this room. This is freaking sweet. You know, that kind of
deal. And for makers, it's cool for makers too, because it connects you with a lot of the filament manufacturers.
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah,
because like every filament manufacturer goes there. I mean, last year Steve and I were there, and the first time I actually met Steve, and Steve would come back to the table with a filament, and then all of us would like run over to the same table and grab the same filament, and then somebody else would come back with a roll of filament, and they'd be like, "Where was that?" And you're like, everybody's running over. So I mean, I think the first day I walked out with like 6 rolls of filament of all different.
Just whole kilo boxes of filament.
Whole kilo boxes, bro. When I got home, hey G, I'm gonna send you a picture. When I got home, I had, I think, 17 to like 25 rolls of filament from just the 2 days there, dude.
And the cool thing,
I don't even think I had that many boxes on my racks right now.
Oh, what? If I turn this camera up, you'll see the problem that I have.
Nothing like your racks. You know why though? You know why that you guys have so many, and I have like, I buy the same filament, or
that's Corey.
The same filament, and that's all I use. Like, so I swear by Polymakers, Cost PLA. Because the sanding.
Yeah.
Do y'all agree with me with the sanding? Like that is easier.
Which one do you use? Do you use A or B?
A.
Okay.
A.
Yeah, it does sand easy.
Okay, it's not just me; it's lighter too, right? It's like their
light. There's two. It's two different ones. So like, one is made for what, like easy sanding, and the other one is
for painting or something like that.
I think for painting or something like that. Yeah.
I like the easy sanding one because PLA in general, like normal PLA, it doesn't sand great. Like ABS actually sands way better than PLA.
I started off with sanding with PLA Plus. I was like, I need the strong rigidity.
Yeah.
And like you need like hardware, like machines. To stand that. Like
that's when I started orbiting. Like I got the orbital and just go to town with it.
I was making hat blocks for a friend of mine, and like it was a lot of standing of PLA. And the last one I think I got cosplay PLA just to make it like that much easier to sand. But it
is nice. I do like it. Yeah.
So I get a lot of that, and then I just get other stuff like that I want to try. So I have like 1 or 2 boxes of stuff I want to try, or I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in boxes right now, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. About 17, 18 rolls out of box. That's it.
Dude, I got like 200 rolls in my room. This room is not big, bro. I just got 3. Right from when you jumped in for the sound check to now, I got 3 more rolls in the mail. I just bought in the room.
You just sit it up there and like, you're like, oh, I want to print a Flexi Rexy or something. And you just like print it out or something, or like, why do you have so many rolls?
It's an addiction, man. Listen,
I probably have close to. I have somewhere between 200 and 300.
Yeah, it's an addiction, man. Like what happens, especially, don't get into HueForge, but get into HueForge. If you do, use my promo code. I don't have a promo code. Listen, you get into HueForge, you'll like, I need another filament with this different TD. TD is like opacity. So like you want, because you're layering it like a cake to make certain colors and make hues and all that. You're like, I need more filament to do this. Like that alone will do it, but then like also I like the design, and so I just like having those colors available or different shades available whenever I need them. And then also like when you kind of like get into the community, you get like filament from different places and stuff like that to you go to a festival and people are like, hey, here, take a roll of filament, and you're like, okay, cool. So like you just wind up with like, you know, rolls of filament. And also for me, I live 2 minutes from Micro Center, so
That's nice.
Yeah, dude. It's good and bad. It's good to the point where like I go in there now and like they don't even bother me. They don't even ask me if I need help. I just
they know.
Yeah, I just like give me 2 stickers, please. I'll slap it on the box, you know, and then like I'll walk out. So that like a large majority of my filament, it was probably inland. It has kind of shifted to like Polymaker as well as new makers. But like, dude, the addiction will grow. You know,
so for me, I print a lot of technical filaments. So when I start with, if I print a polycarbonate carbon fiber, I have to have everybody's polycarbonate carbon fiber because I got to find one that I like the best. So I have 3DX Techs and Polymakers and everybody else who makes that, and then you just end up with piles of it. It's an addiction.
All right.
Just like printers.
I got 2 questions for you guys then. So first one is, how many half like rolls do you have, and then how do you get rid of them? Do you just use your AMS and then run out of one and then?
For me, my halves usually, if it's, I won't even say half, but if it's like just the remnants of the roll, like let's say like the last, you know, 100 or 200 grams or whatever of it, that usually becomes a test roll. I'll use it for like testing other stuff because I always usually have like another backup, kind of like either in the wing or on the, you know, like in the back of the shelf or whatever. So those will become test filaments, and I'll use that for like testing the model before like using the good filament to make it or whatever. So for me, that's what I do with it.
Okay. So the other day, this actually came up. I was like organizing my filament, and I realized that I had like quarter rolls of Elegoo's Rapid PETG in black. I have a lot of it, right? I have a lot of unopened spools, but I started organizing it and I realized I had 13 quarter rolls. So I had 13 rolls of it that had a quarter filament on it. And so I was like, so I got to print something in that filament. So I loaded up an AMS with 4 of them and just
printed it.
Because then it just auto loads it. So to be honest, I have like 6 AMSs, and all of my AMSs are I do print multicolor occasionally, but most of my AMSs are used for the auto switching.
Have you seen that auto loader? I know. I saw Uncle Jesse was messing with one.
I have looked at that. That looks really interesting, and I do think I want to pick one up. There's another one called
for people like the printers that don't have AMS systems, and you want to use up a roll and then go to the next roll.
I've heard and I have one for that. Like some people like love it, and then some people are like, it's okay.
Yeah, like, and I have one.
Okay if it does its job.
And I have one. I have one called the Night Owl. And if you have a Clipper-based machine, it works really well. That's like an open source thing. I think you can buy the kits. I can't even tell you
about the firmwares. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. So it's it works well. But I mean, the AMS is they serve a lot of purposes, right? Like if you want multicolor, great. But they also work great as just a filament switcher.
Runoff.
Runoff. Yeah. That's what I mainly use them for. So
I mean, you can also get I've used this one time. The Sun.
I was going to ask about that. You used it once.
One time.
Yeah, I have
because one. You gotta have a spool roller, like, don't you? Like,
yeah, exactly. And that's what I realized. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I just joined these 2 rolls together. And
I also own one of those. Yeah, I also own one of those, and I've never taken it out of the box because I printed a respooler, right? Mm-hmm. So the spool sits on the top, and then another spool sits underneath of it, and you just spin it, and it respools it. I printed all the parts for it, but it's sitting in a box, and I haven't assembled it yet.
This is a recurring story for you, huh?
It's I should have instead of Mojee3D, I should have been named my channel ADHD 3D because I print everything and then move on to the next project and stick it in a box.
It's probably taken by someone who started it and then just walked away from it. Boom, got
Yeah,
it.
it took me 2 years to build the Recreator 3D.
Well, now they sell. You see, they sell the bundles for it now. The pre-made ones.
But I'm like, I
cool.
want to do the kit because I like building stuff.
Yeah, no. Just go ahead and buy the one that's already built.
I do finish printers.
The KB3D. There you go.
Yeah, like all my Vorons I've printed. I've built a lot of custom printers. I do finish those, but it's all the incidental like accessory based stuff and helmets that I can't seem to finish.
Yeah.
So one question for you, JustGee, that I like to ask everybody: what's your favorite or your best print fail?
That's a good question because I haven't thought about it. Let's see. I've had a few.
In other words, when's the last time you cried like a baby? Basically.
Yeah, yeah. I've had a few of those.
You should have led with that. Like, okay, hold on. I actually have one example. I'm gonna show you this. So I have an X1C with the AMS, and I want to make a Spider-Man helmet for my son. The first, I'm having PTSD about it. I got
PTSD.
I wanted to try out. Now I've used the AMS before, and I've used multi-switching with small prints. I've made a maker's chip and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I've used the multi like switching stuff, but I've never done nothing like this. Mm-hmm. So as you can see that there's two different filaments right here for the red. Mm-hmm. And you probably know why I ran out of red, because I tried it before and it failed.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's probably gone up to here. I think it was the jawline, my first attempt at it. And I don't know what's wrong with my AMS. I think the motor is going bad on it or something like that, but it will not load the filament all the way down perfectly every time. It'll say like error, failure to load filament. I have to go in there and switch it. So you can understand how frustrating that could be when you're doing a multicolor print like this. Yeah. So I was sitting there doing it every 20 seconds, and I had it in slot 1 and slot 2. Slot 1 was red, slot 2 was black. I learned because you'll use 1 and 2 the most. Try 3 and 4 later. Mm-hmm. So I eventually finished it. It's right there for my son. But I used slot 3 and 4 because it was able to feed through. But yeah, so after 20 something hours, remember it got like right here before it failed. 20 something hours, it completely failed. And I'm like, yo, this sucks. Like
it's always those long prints. Like most of my printers at this point are now reliable. But it's inevitable that every time you print the 24 plus hour print, something goes wrong. It's like Murphy's Law, right? Like that's your thing. For me, it was the first time I ever tried printing a helmet, which was a Mandalorian helmet. The first time.
Everybody's first.
Which is everybody's first helmet. And it got to like it was like a 28-hour print. I got it down pretty good. And
what were you printing on a Ender?
Yeah. So actually, it was an Ender extender. So
which one which kit did you use?
The 3. I think it was the 300, right? So it was the biggest one you could get. So the Ender extender kit that made the Ender 3 bigger. And that thing was chugging along at like 28 hours. I mean, now I can print them in like half that. Or less than half, and it got to like out of 28 hours it got to like 26, and it was like a little circle open at the bottom, and it failed, and I wasn't home, and that didn't have any like restarts. So I where it failed, I could tell like the layer it was at, so I just printed like the top layer, glued it on, and then sanded it and finished it.
So you actually finished one. See, you say you didn't finish.
I did. Well, I it's primed.
So it's not finished?
It's not finished.
You can't say I finished it and you didn't.
I think I gave that one away to a friend's son. Or to my So I've printed a lot of helmets. I just don't ever paint them all.
What? Or do you
Or
have
any
like
of
a problem like finishing, like the whole post processing is like an issue?
Yeah, it's just it's the painting part. Like
That's my
I
favorite
get
part.
there. I know, I like painting with like brushes, but I don't like painting with like when I did my Fallout printer, like that's all painted, but that's all like brush and airbrush.
So I know a guy who does tutorials on painting helmets.
I know. Every time you do one, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna finish it.
Do I make it look easy? And then you're like, yeah.
And it's like, because you watch the video and I'm like, and you know, like, okay, it probably took him months to do that and hours, but your videos, it's like you watch like a 25-minute video and you're like, yeah, I can do that. And then you go and do it. And it's like, after like you get, carpal tunnel and a blown out elbow from all the sanding, you're like, oh, this sucks.
Okay, so you know how you guys say that your addiction is buying filament and stuff like that? I love the artsy part, which is the post processing. That's the printing that's not fun and interesting to me. That's just a step to what I like to do, which is the post processing part. And my addiction is buying spray guns. Look at this.
Uh-oh.
I have airbrushes on airbrushes on airbrushes.
Oh,
you think
man.
these are cheap? This is a $350 airbrush.
Sweet Jesus,
yeah, they're expensive.
This is, you can see the price on it. Oh no, you can't. There it goes. $129 for that one. These are the cheap ones, but it still cost me $50-something. I have 3 more of these in my drawer, like this. 3 more.
So do you actually notice the difference between them? Like, is it a substantial difference?
No, I do. So okay. Here's a prime example. Okay, I'm gonna show you. So this one. Oops, I almost dropped something. All right. So these look almost exactly the same, yeah? But they're not. This is basically it's a mini air gun. So this has a 0.7 millimeter nozzle. This is a 3.5. I can still do fine detail work with this. You can tell about like the cups on them. They're different. This one's like a lot bigger. And this one actually comes with a big cup. I'm trying not to. Oh, I got it. I can actually install this cup on there if I want to.
Wow.
So that's like covering, and then the other one's like detailed.
Yeah, so I can adjust the nozzle. So you have this little tiny tip right here. I can take this tip off, and I can put on this tip right here. And now, sorry, the minigun just fell on me. I got to put it on this tip right here. And now I have basically a miniature air gun. Now I clear coat with an air gun because I need to wide coverage. I have like 3 air guns. Oh, it's an addiction. But I can unscrew this one. This is why this costs $350. I can unscrew this tip and put on this tip and get a bigger fan. I can do a smaller tip. The reason why I have a small tip on it now because I did that chrome and I don't want to spray that much chrome. I'm just gonna waste it. It's just gonna spray everywhere. But I would use this for like a base coat if I want to put black on it or whatever. And I don't want to whip out a whole an air gun to lay down black. But I still use rattle cans too, by the way. People will knock rattle cans, but if you know how to paint, you can use a rattle can. But yeah, I'll
use a rattle can for priming and stuff. But I do have an air gun. I do have a airbrush. And I do prefer that for painting because it doesn't put off as much off spray, that covers everything.
That's I have stuff just laying around for painting, and look, these are just laying there.
Like, brushes everywhere.
Yeah, I have brushes. I love the detail work, and I guess I think how everybody has their own little niche. Like what everybody asks, what's going to separate you from the next guy? There's a lot of creators that 3D print and make helmets. What's going to make you different from that other guy who does the exact same thing that you do? And you have to separate yourself. And I think my thing is that fine detail work that's going to separate me. They're going to look at me like, man, how did he get that fine detail work? Like, I don't know if you guys seen the bill for this.
Yeah.
This helmet actually went viral for me.
Nice.
Did y'all know that? Like on Instagram,
Yeah.
this one hit 1.5 mil on
Nice.
Instagram. And
Nice.
I think it's because it's that fine detail work.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like I just threw it down, but I had to add every little detail to it. And this was a raw print. I didn't like take a soldering iron to this. This was that Yosh file that when he got in trouble, he made this file and he got in trouble and he had to delete it.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, this is that file. So
They went after everyone around that time though, because I think they went at the Galactic Armory as well.
Yeah, so this is basically a 1 of 1. I'm trying to sell it. Nobody wants to buy it, but it. Hold on, let's see. It lights up and everything. There you go.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool. Yeah.
And it looks like it's like frosted. That's an accident. That's just excess. That's just excess super glue.
No.
But it looks cool.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat asks, how many needles do you have?
How many needles? So I try my best not to bend them. I try my very best. But that's so funny that you asked that question because this gun right here, this is probably the one I use the most. This is a Awada Neo. And if you know about airbrushes, Awada Neo is like the mid-entry level. But I hate the kind that goes like this. I hate those. Like I hate them to death. So I always got triggers. This is their trigger version of the Awada Neo. It's a 3.5. Now, if you know about airbrushes, 3.5 is a rare needle to find. It's hard. It's hard to find. And I bent it. I bent that needle. So I had to find it. So I went on Amazon. I was like, let me order the Awada Neo 3.5 millimeter nozzle or 0.35 millimeter nozzle. Came in. It didn't fit. So I went to Hobby Lobby where I bought the gun at, and they had it. And I was like, oh, yeah, let me just grab this. I grabbed it. It didn't fit. So I had to go to, what was that website? I can't think of the name right now. Spray Gunner. I went to Spray Gunner. And I had to search for it. The TRN special edition 3.5 millimeter nozzle, and I finally got it. So I have like 4 or 5 needles just sitting up there that I can never use. So to answer your question,
another one.
I have a 0.35 millimeter nozzle needle that I will never be able to use.
So they're not uniform amongst all the different.
Nope.
Very specific.
All of them are very specific. You need to find that brand of that specific needle because you can get a 0.2 mil or 0.2 mil and it will not fit another 0.2 mil. Get a master.
So it's funny. Yeah. So when I was in high school and then a year after high school and my first year in college, I worked at an auto body shop painting cars. Started out priming. So we were, big air guns, and there was always everybody. So we were a Devil Biz. Devil Biz would come and sell their paint guns to us. So we were a Devil Biz shop, but there were like a bunch of different models, and every guy liked their specific model. Some guys like gravity fed guns. Some guys like siphon feed. I liked the gravity feed, but just because I didn't hit the cars with the tanks. But it's funny that you find that everybody has like that. Like I'm a technical filament guy. Steve's an every filament guy. But everybody has their thing that they like, even within 3D printing, or if you're a cosplay prop maker. Like I know a prop maker who her thing is she 3D prints and stuff, but her thing is all the fabrics, the soft stuff, right? Like the sewing and all that. Like that's her thing. And it's funny that everybody seems to have.
You have to find a niche, baby. You got to separate yourself from anybody else.
Yeah. Dude, I just grabbed my sewing machine out of storage a couple days ago.
Sewing machines terrify me.
Can you sew?
Cool, man. I can sew a little bit. I can't.
It's not that hard. I can hand stitch. Tear a shirt open. I can probably sew back.
I can hand stitch. I can leather stitch. I got leather up there for stitching. I'm like make my own belts when I need them.
Crochet.
No, I wouldn't mind learning, but no, I can't crochet.
My wife
So,
can, but no, the sewing machines terrify me. I feel like I'm
dude,
gonna,
they are awesome, man. They're
I
pretty
do
cool.
want. I am an Adam Savage fan, so I do eventually someday want to make like my own full cosplay prop thing and sew all my own soft stuff.
I would love to.
So I do own a sewing machine. I've just never used it. My mother's always like, "Oh, I could teach you how to use it," and I'm like, I tried to use it once, and it like all bird nested.
My mom taught me how to use it, and like,
all tangled up.
Dude, I remember like my daughter. She was going to school. She had a uniform, and then she transferred to another school, but they were still using that same uniform pattern. And she had gotten too big for her uniform, and I was like, you know what? I cut that bad boy up, sewed it, and turned her like dress into like a skirt, and her and the top into like a vest or something like that. Literally, and like right on the sewing machine. And like for my job used to like really be big into Halloween, so like of course like that meant that like we would do like costumes and stuff like that. And like for me, the challenge was always like, how good of a costume can I do in like 2 days? And so I would like literally, like set everything up, and then like over that weekend prior or like a couple days before, initially my mom would sew it for me, and like then she showed me how. She's like, she got tired of it, and she showed me how to do it. And she's like, all right, you can do it, and I'll teach you, and then I'll just borrow the costumes from you when I need them. And so like that's what I would do. Like I would make the costumes, and she'd be like, hey, can I borrow that Stay Puft Marshmallow costume that you made? And then she'd wear it to work or whatever.
Why do I picture Steve just like busting out the sewing machine, putting on like a headband, grabbing like that grabbing that tomato plush where you stick the needles in,
right?
On the wrist. On the wrist.
It's like, I got you, babe. Don't worry about it.
Dude, the tomato plush was a big part of it. I was like, I hunted. The first time I sold something, I hunted for that tomato plush. I was like, listen.
He's a Joan fabric.
When I'm all in, I'm all in. Like if you tell me you're moving, if you're like, hey, we're moving, can you come help? I'm like, sure. I come. I got like a skull cap on. I got like overalls on. I'm in character, bro. Like I'm in character, bro. You tell me you what? I'm like, let's go. Like you gonna get the full routine.
Joan coupons.
Right? Oh, look over there where the Micro Center is. There's a Joann's fabric, and they're closing down. And I've been like sad every day I ride past there. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, all those ones are closing. They're
all
closing.
of them are closing.
So yeah,
that's where you get some foam for cheap.
Yeah, what is it? Willow Creative there.
Dude.
I think she was posted on X where she went in and bought like every bolt of fabric they had.
I wish I would have done that. And my wife was like, she's like, where are you gonna get fabric from? I was like, I don't even know. Like I was legit like, I was like, I guess I'll have to order it online. I was like, I don't have to do that.
Hobby Lobby has a little bit of fabric.
We don't even have Hobby Lobby over here. That's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen a Hobby Lobby in this area.
What?
Yeah, we have Hobby Lobby and Michael's, but obviously Joann's gone.
Yeah, Michael's doesn't carry a lot of fabric. They carry like some stuff, but they carry like squares and stuff like that, but not like like stuff that you could. Yeah, dude.
Full boat.
I wanted to deck out the inside of my Mandalorian helmet, so I got this like black velvet, like it was the nicest fabric I ever seen in my life, and I was gonna line the whole interior with it with the foam and stuff, and I was like, I put the foam and I was like, this is good.
Yeah, right.
It works.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm the only one that's ever gonna see it.
I know we got a couple Hobby Lobbies nearby. I might have to go check one of them out. Relatively nearby.
So to kind of wrap us up here.
It's over so far?
Yeah, my other question was what's your favorite filament? But we obviously it's PLA. It's cosplay.
PLA.
So we got that answer.
Like crazy.
Yeah. So do you have any other questions for Just G, Steve?
Nah, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I think it's cool. For me, it's cool because like I talk about this all the time. There's not a lot of people of color in 3D printing. And it would be cool to see more people of color across different races in 3D printing. So like you're setting a good role model. You're making cool stuff. I think people are watching, and you're gonna hit 100 in no time, man. 100K in no time.
I hope so. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
Yeah, I know. I was super excited that you agreed to come on. We said, Steve and I, you were our number one on both.
Yeah.
We both said same time, hey, who do you want to come on? And we were both like, just G. So, and you were here on episode 1, which was
awesome. Like a sign. So,
I thought you guys been doing this, so I was like,
no, dude, that was our first one. 2. This is number 2.
That's awesome.
So, great. Thanks for coming. Keep
man,
doing what you're doing. We're all gonna watch your videos. I can't wait for that Dr. Doom video.
If you guys are in the chat, please go follow JustGee. He's an awesome creator.
I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, and again, JustGee YouTube with his all his awesome stuff. Appreciate you coming, and we will be keeping up with you for everything you do.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
And if you ever need anything, man, don't hesitate to hit us up. And
absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks, JustGee. All right. Well,
bye.
See you, man.
All right. Well, that was JustGee. Awesome guy. Great maker. Like I said, watch his videos. He deserves a follow. He's working hard. Super nice guy. Does a lot of cool stuff. His videos are great. His cosplay making is even better. So we're a little bit over our time. Normally we end at 9:30, but I did want to mention one other thing. That Soraya Tech filament that we talked about with JustGee, the filament. I am going to get a roll of that and test it, but that's just really cool stuff. So you guys should check that out. Next week, one of the things that I wanted to talk about this time was Prusa's new Easy Print app that just came out. I also wanted to talk a little bit about I wanted to kind of focus on the maker ethos, right? Like what makes a maker. And with that, like when you're a maker and when you want to be able to make these things, do you want to see more things like the Philips fixables, where Philips is now putting out, we talked about it a little bit last week, where they're putting out their attachments for their beard trimmers and their hair trimmers, where if you lose one, you can just print it. And they're putting their models on printables available for people to just print. So next week, that's what I'd like to talk about. Steve's got some stuff that he probably wants to talk about.
I think the cool thing with the whole fixables part is going to be pretty awesome to see. Philips, that's a toe into the pond per se. It's not like so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. It gives us some time to kind of like gather everything up, but that'll be pretty freaking sweet. By then, Rocky Mountain videos will be out, so we'll have a bunch of those to kind of go through. We're still trying to figure out. A friend of ours has started a Discord for us, but just keep on the lookout. We do have a website. It is unspooledtd.com, and we will be updating that soon with all the content, all the places where you can find us. But we definitely want you guys. Like we said, this is a stream that will be fueled by the community. So,
and next week we have an awesome community member coming in. Just like JustGee. You guys are going to know him. He's awesome, and he's going to be our second guest on episode 3. So don't miss that. We will release a little more details on that as the week goes on. But we really do appreciate you guys coming out. Like I said, check out all our socials, the website. We'll be kind of evolving and adding more to these as we go. But if you have any questions or any ideas or anything you want to see, just reach out to either myself or Steve, Layer by Layer, Mojee3D on all the socials, and we'll definitely add it in.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us, and hopefully we see you guys next week. Like you said, hit us up on social media. If you follow us anywhere, you'll see any upcoming news in relation to Unspooled 3D. So
absolutely. So next week, episode 3, the Maker Ethos, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See ya,
you guys.
Oh wait, we gotta raid out. Let's find a raid.
Oh, let's raid. Okay. Where are we gonna raid to?
Let's see. Hold on.
Let's see.
Let me refresh. It looks like Shenanigans
Is he on?
online. Yeah, and Cyber Jewels as well.
Okay, so
They're both on. JustGee3d is online as well.
So let's try to find.
Let's see real quick.
Shenanigans.
Actually, let's see if who's live right now.
So it looks like Shenanigans is live.
Yeah, so let's raid into Shenanigans.
All right, here we go, guys. We're gonna raid into Shenanigans again.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Thanks.